Good afternoon. Thank you for watching. This is Sirena Nereida with Celestial Soul Wellness. And today we're talking about June 16th new moon in Gemini. It's at 25 degrees Gemini, and it's it's got a lot of stuff going on. It has a bunch of conjunctions, squares, and oppositions. And the nice thing to know is Mercury is going direct, or went direct already last week, but it's still in the storm, so we're not completely through with the chaos, and there's still be some kind of technological or electrical communication situations, or dealing with siblings and cousins. And remember, when I say situations, it's not all negative. It's your perspective that makes it negative. What I'm saying is, there are situations that are bringing these people in the forefront of our lives, okay? And so also too is we had recently too, I mentioned in the last one, we had Neptune go retrograde in Pisces. So there's an opportunity too that especially in Pisces, and Neptune does rule Pisces, is to really get within ourselves and our creativity. And I mention that because, oh wow. Well, before I continue, let's start off with the Sabian symbol, okay? Okay, Sabian symbol is frost-covered trees against the winter skies. So you got the frost-covered trees against the winter skies. And this talks about evolution, the development, the cycles of life, the seasons, phases that are automatic, and not just with Mother Nature, Mother Gaia, or with the planet, but it also reminds us of ourselves. We all know, there's when a baby is born, there's the breastfeeding stage, okay? And then there's the crawling stage, and then there's the walking stage, when they're barely learning how to walk and talk, okay? And then there's the stage where they're saying why? We're like, oh, I wish you didn't talk, okay? Then they're running, and you're like, no, I don't want you to walk, okay? I don't want you to run. So as human beings, we ourselves have different cycles and development and stages. And really in schools, especially our last year of high school, as an ex-high school teacher, I really think that this human development, the understanding and our approach and our emotional reaction to situations in different stages need to be brought to our attention, because a lot of times people act like they're the only ones who's ever gone through something, and it's been going on millions and billions of years with humans, and it just is beyond us that we're not taught that. I mean, if I was taught certain things when I was younger, I probably wouldn't needed to try other things, so it is very important to respect the development and evolution, the evolution of our brain, and also too the evolution not just physically but emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually of ourselves, okay? We are no longer in caveman time, in survival. I need to kill saber-tooth tiger to feed me, okay? And let me hit woman on head and then throw her on my back and get my thrills in. It is, who knows, maybe it wasn't even like that way, okay? I mean, we just go with the stereotype and ideas that have been passed around, okay? And we kind of water it down even more. But understanding these cycles, and the necessity when to skip a cycle, because, just like our seasons, on the East Coast, we have winter, spring, summer, and fall. But here on the West Coast, we really only have maybe, I would say 3 seasons, because our fall and our spring is so similar over here, okay? You really couldn't tell the difference, and I'm not complaining, I'm just making a fact, okay? Stating a fact, not making it, stating it. And our winters are a little bit colder where we might have some freezing over here, especially in Southern California. Okay, and there's times there might be snow on the mountains, and we have what other people might call a nice drizzle over there on the East Coast or in the North. What we call, oh my gosh, it's a flash storm, and then this summer we have, where it's actually interesting because, especially here in Southern California, our summers are not really that hot. Okay, it's almost like our spring. What we do have is that haze in the morning. Okay, and we get it once it burns off by 10 o'clock. All right, then it becomes nice and beautiful warm. Then we have a breeze, and then it becomes cool. Our summers don't become overbearingly hot until, I would say, mid-August, until October, mid-October. And when I was younger, incorrectly said, or politically incorrectly said, is that we used to call that part Indian summer because summer is over come September, right? But we still have the heat, and we would call it Indian summer. And it was because that's when the Native Americans acknowledged the warmth in their summer, that the summer didn't really start come June with the solstice, okay? I mean the equinox. So those are things to remember, that different places on the planet are going to have different types of cycles and different phases. So different people from different cultures, different religions, and different genders, and different necessities, and different educational backgrounds, different emotional, all right, and psychological backgrounds are going to go through different cycles than each one of us. And again, I'm going to bring up the Native Americans because they have a wonderful saying that says, do not, criticize thy neighbor until you have walked a mile in their moccasins. And that is very necessary to be polite, to understand, because we only can, unless you've gone through it, you cannot sympathize. You can probably empathize, but if you don't even understand it or recall it, how are you going to be able to, empathize and guide someone else, all right? Also, too, is we cannot complain. We don't have the right to complain about others in those situations because if we cannot sympathize. So we have to realize that at different stages, our priorities as humans are, different also, okay? Especially if you're, like we said, gender, age, culture, educational background, financial background, what are your priorities, your sole purpose, all those things need to be considered. But that is the Sabian symbol. And just so you know, here with the chakras and health, what we're going to be talking about sooner or later in this show is the throat chakra, okay? So very much the throat chakra, and so we'll be bringing up that health portion a little bit later on. So now going back to the general astrology for this new moon of 16 degrees, 25 degrees Gemini. It's on the 16th of June. There you go. Okay, so what we have here, you guys got to see my notes. I know, flash paper, right? Can you guys see all that action going on with that new moon? Oh my goodness. So here we go. We got Mars conjunct the moon, conjunct the sun. Of course, new moon is always conjunct the sun. And we have a far conjunction with Sappho. And I bring that up because of Mars, all right? Right there. And which is square Chiron, which is opposite of Pallas. Wow, 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 wow. I mean, we got a lot of creativity there. We got a lot of communication going on. There is situations that are people are going back to the logic because, especially with the Mercury retrograde, they're going like, oh no, let's talk it. And the thing is, though, Mercury wants to talk. It's not about with Mars being there in Gemini. But the action is going to be a little bit spontaneous without thorough thinking. And the thing is too is the ideas are, because it's not thorough thinking, the ideas are not well developed. And so it's like, oh, they take that and run, and you're like, wait, we're not finished with that. Okay, you know, some people sometimes will ask me stuff and say, oh, well, can't you just answer yes or no? I'm like, no, I can't, because there are certain consequences with the information I'm going to give you, and certain realizations that only you can put into effect of your life, realizing the stages and what's going on. And for me to say yes or no, then you're going to put it back on me, okay? Which is not, because, you know, just if someone says it is raining outside, I say yes, it is. And they don't take any other information. They didn't ask me if it was humid or if it was a cold rain. Should they take anything? And they're going to make a judgment on what I have said. And it's like, wait a minute, that's because they are narrow-minded thinking. That is because they are not allowing true development of consciousness to be applied. And that is incorrect. So anytime we're going with yes or no, we are making quick judgments, okay? But we have to take responsibility for those judgments. And it's very important that we understand that, because Mars is also of action, but it's quick-footed there. And then there's the idea of needing creativity, all right, and seeing beauty. We have Sappho there. Also, that is kind of egging Mars on to create some lustful situations. People might be mentally, you know, aroused because of intellectual conversations, all right? A lot of people, you know, there are people who don't just get aroused. It's like, oh, they can appreciate something, you know, beautiful, and they look at it, it's like, oh, yes, they have a nice, you know, physique, this and that. But they get those mental orgasms. They're the ones that really is a type of foreplay, and that's a different development of our stage of human development and evolution, okay, whereas other people, you know, don't. This is a time when a lot of people, remember, people who are not as psychologically and mentally developed are going to talk about other people for entertainment. That's their concern. They're worried about other people, they're talking about other people, and that's their whole entertainment, okay? Then you have other people who are going to talk about, let's say, events, all right? Oh, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? They are a little bit more developed, okay? They're on a different level of human evolution, and I'm not trying to put people down. It is what it is, because they do not need or have concern about what other people are doing. But then the events. Then you have the third stage, okay? Man and woman, where they are more developed and they are discussing and philosophizing, all right, applying the universe and those ideas within the collective consciousness. And that is going to be the people who are less insecure, who are not going to play the games, all right? People who talk about other people are manipulating, they're playing games, they think that people being jealous means it's love. It's really still caveman style. Not a good thing. And I bring this up because you're going to have to realize here, there's going to be an attempt to talk about events, there's going to be an attempt to talk about people, but because it's also on the third decade of Gemini, there is going to be a little bit philosophizing in there, all right? And that's important because those who are not used to it and need to make that jump. We are now on a different, you know, we're on the fifth dimension now. We are no longer third dimensional stage people. We are challenged, and it is necessary that we up our antics a little to help us, you know, become more one and connected with the source and the universe. Okay, and so all that is going to happen. And so there's going to be, because of all this talking and not taking true understanding or absorbing true understanding, there's going to be complications of Chiron there, and people, healing, and that can also affect people's relationships, especially with father-daughter, because Pallas represents the father-daughter relationship. It can affect people's intuition, since it's happening, it's opposite of Pallas, which is in Sagittarius. And so there is a need also, because Pallas is in Sagittarius, of the father-daughter connection, going and above and beyond, of really making that consciousness spiritually. And it's very important in this day and age, especially with many families that are single parents. We have a lot of single mothers with children, and then, there's single fathers, all right? People say, well, if they have more custody, they're the single mother. Then they're just but no, they have time with their child too. And so how are you developing that creativity? And how important it is, because the relationship one has, with their daughter affects the daughter's relationship, how she's going to see men, and what is she going to try and get from men, all right, as a priority. Okay, continuing on, we have Venus that is going to be conjunct Jupiter, and it's going to be at the end of the month at 21 degrees. And if you see, I've been putting there on Facebook, you see already, Venus is going forward, Jupiter is retrograde, and so they're going to kiss and dance pretty soon, and that's going to be beautiful, okay? Let's see here. We have Pluto conjunct the fixed star Vega, all right, which is also creative depths going on. And so we're going to allow our psychology, our inner childhood issues to really come out in our creativity and let it all out. And remember, it has to deal a lot, because Pluto is in Capricorn, dealing with authority figures, especially our parents, either be it your father or mother, depending who is the major one, a disciplinary one, and or the one you had felt more obstacles with, okay? We have Vesta also sextile Mercury, so this is a great time to open up communications, all right, towards any mental activities, with others, siblings, neighbors. But again, this is opening up. We're not going to seal the deal yet, all right? Let's open up the talks that we couldn't open up before, when we were with Mercury retrograde. So we also have, let's see here, Neptune opposite Reiki. So there is available healings there, and energies, okay? And yet it might be, one's going to have to strive a little to really get that feeling within oneself, and to grasp that, the higher energies. There's the Neptune seeing things. This is a better time to perhaps open the intuition and pineal gland, and use your spirit guides, okay, and your angels and your spirit animals, and connection with your ancestor spirit guides, and also the archangels and Mother Gaia, and the number one, our divine creator of all that is, source, okay? So really have a an opening there to be able to allow some energies to come in. So, but at the same time, be careful with using alcohol or drugs or medication. Because of that, this is going to allow entities to attach, because it makes one weaker. And remember, those negative entities and energies attach and become vampire energies when we are at our weakest, okay? So that's very important. Just let's see here. I have Amor circled, and I'm trying to understand why. We have Amor that is square the new moon, And so again, there's amor, which is very important because you have eros that is conjunct. Okay, we have Sappho and eros. Eros is like right there with the new moon. Yet we have amor that is square. So again, we are seeing a lustful time. It is not one where we're going to cement relationships, okay, in romance. Amor would like a little bit more romance and creativity involved. And Eros is like, let's talk. Mars is like, hurry up, let's get to it. And so be aware, if you are very romantic and you're sentimentalist, be careful what kind of relationship you're developing if you're throwing yourself too quickly into something. Remember too is because there seems to be misunderstandings here regarding what is going on, because when we have a Gemini is a young sign, all right? It's in their teens, and it wants to date. What dating is, hey, I want to hang out with you on a one-on-one basis, really is what it is. Remember in the olden times we have the idea of courting. Okay, people would court, and that was because they would go walking when they come over, visit, they would walk around the courtyard, and then they had the what was the person, the older person, what was it called? I did it for my sister when she was younger. The third wheel, making sure that nothing, physically intimate was going on or getting too close. Oh my goodness, se me escapa la palabra. Anyway, but courting is very important. Now, courting is not a relationship. Dating is not a relationship. And that's very important because, and you guys know, as a life and health and intimacy relationship coach, there is a lot of confusion. If you are only, and I say only dating, you're dating to see if that person is a potential for a relationship. You are not in one. You do not have certain rights. Cannot say, hey, I want to be the only one you're dating. That's not dating. You're asking to be in a relationship. You are confused, okay? And that is very important. You cannot push. And what's more important, you're not going to like this, ladies, but it's very true. Cannot push men into a relationship. Sure, they'll agree, but if their whole heart is not in it, okay? They'll say, sure, because they want to have the sex, because you gave it up and they want to continue and you're threatening to take it away because you chose to give it before you were in a relationship because you were trying to get their attention in the first place. It doesn't mean their heart and soul's in it. Okay? I know many men who were asked to be in relationships, asked to be married, and they either cheated or had to get out because they kind of felt pushed into it, reluctant, okay, I guess time-wise. But the reason why men are not going to ask, and it could be years and years, is because if they have not found their soul purpose, if they do not feel financially stable into providing and being in a relationship, they're not going to ask. So you can push and push and push. But if it's not ready, it's not ready. And that's very important because Gemini is the twins. And sometimes people think they found their soulmate during this time, and it's far from it, okay? Or their twin flame. No, all right? It is more of talk. It is more of a lust and not one of romance. This is a good time to take note and see what it is you need in a relationship. Why do you want to be in a relationship? Why? Because you want kids? Because you want a house? And you can't afford it? Okay? What is the true reason? Because you're lonely? Are you lonely because you're bored? If you're bored, is it because you are not entertaining yourself? You don't read, you don't watch movies, you're not physically active? Okay. Recall all that. You haven't developed yourself. What is the main reason you are searching and wanting a relationship? 24/7 sex, and really see and analyze what it is you're asking for there. That's very important. okay, during this time. So those are the major things going on. I'm trying to see here. We got the North Node is in Libra, so we are still dealing with relationships, you know, and people are not being balanced. This is since it's at 6 degrees Libra. There's a lot of imbalance in relationships going on, and how people think they see things. There's things that are nubious, especially because, you know, the new moon also does affect eyesight, okay? So being aware of all that, knowing that we're not seeing things as clearly as we would like to, the best thing to do is wait it out. There is no rush. We're not going to die, you know, if we don't get that, okay? Some people act like they are, and I need to take a step back. All right, I'm just going over here, the notes here. Let's see. All right, I got a line here, and I know there's something. Okay, we have a little big space of Vesta opposite of relationships there. So again, we're not getting much support there. Though we do have Jupiter conjunct, loose conjunction with Juno, which is nice because those are the two ones of marriage. The Jupiter being the masculine and Juno being the feminine. And so there might be a lot of weddings going on and people getting together, which is good if they've already been in relationships, but starting new ones, it's not really, you know, favorable. We also have Nessus, which is conjunct the fixed star Deneb Dij. Okay, so it's being, be aware of victimization. A lot of times when we say, oh, you betrayed me, oh, you disillusioned me. No, no one betrays us. No one disillusions us. We chose to put certain expectations on someone else when they didn't ask us to. And we did it according to our own judgments of our own upbringing, not according to theirs. Okay? And we didn't like their reaction. And so now we, you know, according to our personal agenda. And we're going to say, they betrayed us. Okay, that's lower mental thinking. That is first stage thinking. Remember I told you about those are the people who talk about, you know, and concerned about what other people are doing and saying. All right? Those are not people who are concerned more about philosophizing and the connection with source and universe, okay? So there's a big difference there. So please be aware of acting like a victim. It is not beautiful. It is not sexy. It is very discouraging. It is very disappointing because when people act like victims, they had a part in it also, okay? And they are just being blind to it. They don't want to accept it, which means they have a very high ego, okay? And they want attention, which means they don't know how to project themselves in a positive way and develop their abilities and mental capabilities and their connections with source for positive attention and universal unconditional love. I know, sounds a little bit harsh. But anyway, let me go ahead and go through this with the houses, okay? So we got Aries. This is all happening in your third house of communication. So you're going to have an opportunity to start things with siblings, with your cousins and neighbors, okay? And maybe return back to the whole neighborhood you were brought up in. And as you know, so, and this is going to give you an opportunity to also, maybe if you haven't learned how to drive, to learn to drive, and other kinds of communication and traveling, all right, or going some road trips around town. Okay, Taurus, this is happening in your second house. You're getting an opportunity to really, really see how it is you judge yourselves according to your morals and judging others and how narrow-minded you are being. And you get to expand it and seeing, is that really fair to others and to yourself? How are your judgments and your moral issues limiting your happiness and your bliss and making you resentful? Okay, and imposing limits on other people because of your own fears. All right, so this is a really good time to let go of those fears, start anew, you know, really brush off and say, all right, I did this, I did that. I had my personal agendas. Certain people didn't fulfill them. True, I imposed it upon them. I got something what I wanted. Take it and, and let it go, okay? Because you had a part in this too. All right, Gemini, this is in your first house, okay? And so you get an opportunity to revamp yourself, your appearance, how you're seen by other people, expression, and just maybe taking on a new wardrobe or a new approach to life in itself. And at the same time, you're going to come off a little bit more intellectual in this aspect, and lustful too. So enjoy, but be very aware that it's not sustaining, So try to develop all your interest, so that way it's more profound and more sustaining, okay? And so, let me see here. We got Cancer, all right? And Cancer, this is happening in your 12th house. In your 12th house, it's time to meditate, go into yourself. Take a step back, go on a walking meditation, put on your binaural beats, listen, and really develop and get in touch with nature. Walk. Mercury rules Gemini, the fast beat, and just walk, okay? And so you're going to notice that Cancers like to go side and saunter side to side to side. And this is time to kind of be clear. Start developing what it is you want. You had Jupiter in your sign, okay, a year ago. And it was ending. And now it's been in your second house. Hello, this is Sirena Nereida with Celestial Soul Wellness. And we're going to continue with the June new moon forecast. We stopped at Cancer. I got cut off there. But, I just wanted to back up and remind people that, hey, you guys like the little kitten they gave us? Wolfgang named him Ragnar. Isn't that so so wonderful? You guys know I love animals. Oh, isn't he so special? Keeping him close to the heart, because it is a newborn there and it needs to hear the palpitation of the heart, feeling love. Though he's very vocal, okay? So focus on what I'm saying and not on his little meowings. Okay, so I wanted to bring up also to the placement of Venus and Jupiter retrograde, where they're going. So we stopped at Cancer. The new moon, let me back up with Aries. And so Aries, that is happening in your 5th house, okay? So you got a romance or a lot of involvement with children and chances and opportunities of entertainment, the music industry, movie industry, and really being a leader and guiding and having a lot of fun. Good time to manifest things, all right? And with Jupiter retrograde, just really go out there and yes, see, and really enjoy and participate, okay, with that. So if you're wondering what's going on with that. Okay, so Taurus with the Jupiter-Venus conjunction that is coming up also, that's going to be happening in your 4th house, okay? So you're going to have changes and room for expansion and a lot more love going on. And you're going to see things, even connections with your mother, and perhaps decorating, because Venus is beautifying, all right? And Jupiter is expanding, so decorating and beautifying the home, involving your mother or female energies involved, or even a grandparent, okay? Because of Jupiter, or a sister because of Venus in there. So, or maybe your daughter's coming back home, So, or you're letting a girlfriend move in, okay? That's always a possibility. Come here. Ooh. All right. So Gemini, we have the Venus-Jupiter conjunction happening in your 2nd house, all right? And in your 2nd house there, so your finances are having opportunity flourishing, and it's in the beauty field, obviously, and entertainment there, and you're having you're rethinking how you see your moral issues and how you value yourself and your own self-worth, okay? Ooh, it's warm, and this kitten is, little Ragnar here is Ooh, oh my goodness. So, okay, you're getting opportunities to reevaluate, even to take on a second job. Okay, and I see it part-time because Jupiter is retrograde, just something to help things expand and help you. And once it goes forward direct, then I see a little bit more opportunity for stabilizing this. So this is a try on error thing. It's not something that's going to be, forever, all right? So, Cancer, I see, actually, Gemini, that was supposed to happen in your third house. So that was Cancer in your second house. I apologize. I know, how dare I? Oh, sorry. So sorry that Gemini, that was for Cancer. Gemini, this is happening in your third house of neighborhood, of siblings, of cousins, and learning. You're getting opportunity to do a lot of road trips, okay? Participate with your neighborhood and community, and interactions with your cousins and siblings to really expand that. And that's really neat because the new moon is in Gemini, which rules the third house in general. So you're really feeling it, okay? Gemini, that you are just out there and reconnecting with people, and you're such a social person, and with the little wings on your shoes, or the big wings on your shoes, that you are enjoying it. It's a very social time, and so really be good, enjoy it, but know your limits, because Jupiter is a retrograde. So expanding too much or going overboard is not good with alcohol right now, especially since not to be mean, a lot of Geminis get depression, get panic attacks, strokes when their nervous system is overly exerted, okay, or active. So grounding, so take a nap before you go out. Make sure you eat some potatoes or starchy carbs, and I never say you have starchy carbs before you drink, okay? But so that it soaks it up, or just don't drink, to go out and have fun, but you don't need to drink or do any kind of mind altering influences, okay? So sorry about that, Gemini, for earlier. Thank you for your patience. So Cancer, that was we mentioned you, that was the third house, okay? Second house. And Leo, this is happening in your first house. So Leo, let's back up and let's talk about everything. The new moon to the Venus Jupiter conjunction. Okay, so this new moon, Leo, is happening in your 11th house of friendships, of goals. How are you developing yourself? How do you see your friends participating? Oh my goodness, that just reminded me of something. So how do you see yourself going forward, okay? Are you going zigzag, or are you going forward direct, like an arrow? Are you including your friends? You guys are such friendly people and love to have an audience. Love your friends, okay? You guys are man's man if you're male, and women, you have your publicity, your group. Are you including and having them share along with those opportunities and growing? You never want to leave people behind, and people end up being left behind because they're not included. But if you can encourage them, if you can love them and dissipate any of their fears, remember their fears are because of how they were brought up, then you can help them grow with you, and you really grow and expand. I don't mean physically, but spiritually, consciously, cosmically, and collectively. All right, and really have opportunities to thrive in this world. And with Venus and Jupiter being in your first house, you are getting a lot of love and opportunity and admiration, and giving you the opportunity of being a leader, okay? And really showing what you can do, and just giving you that So go ahead. Yes, see, Ragnar agrees. Okay, so go ahead, be the leader you are, do that roar. How are you doing that? How are you doing that? Huh, Ragnar? Here, let me show you guys real quickly, Leos. Okay, you got one Leo over here with another here, like, oh, what does this remind you of? Okay, so, yeah, that was supposed to be the Lion King, Mufasa and Simba, me being Leo, ha ha ha, and the cat. Okay, I know, bad joke. So anyway, I tried. Virgo. My son's like, oh, mommy, stop. Okay, Virgo. So this is happening, the new moon is happening in your 10th house, so you're getting an opportunity to really expand, you becoming an authority figure, being the supervisor, and making connections with other supervisors and authority figures, you getting a whole new look in your career, okay? And seeing what it is that really is your passion, and making the money through your passion, especially since Venus right now is in your 12th house. And so I'm just writing a little note. In your 12th house, so you're getting time and opportunity to really take an introspective look at what's going on, to expand your connection and how you approach with your children and your pets and entertainment and the media, and how to use everything for your benefit. All right, and that's very important, because perhaps you yourself, you're going to go and if you're not taking the time to meditate or convalesce yourself and some time for yourself. What you guys hear is my son cooking in the background. But I know if I don't do this, then you guys don't, you can, this complaint that it's not on time, and I got to. We've had a very busy weekend. So, also, too, is the way you see yourself and the way you connect with Father, especially, too, because Sappho, oh, yes, is opposite palace, which is going to be in your 4th house. So issues of how daughter-father relationships is really going to affect you, especially since the new moon is happening in your 10th house. Okay? And so how you saw yourself, how would you like to be? What are you having to be the masculine essence in the family now? All right? And what is it that you need? And maybe you still, no matter how old you are, we all yearn, and in Spanish we say anorar, melancholy for that connection, that growing up, and how we could put that in our lives differently to better serve us. So take all that into consideration, and which is very good, because maybe you can, go to some nursing homes, convalescent homes, hospitals, and get in touch and really give your services there. You have no idea how wonderful you can be. You have a very healing hand, and you're very articulate, Virgo, and detailed. So think about that, All right, let's moving right along. We got Libra. Did you hear that, Libra? It's in your 9th house, and then we also have in your 11th house. So the new moon is in your 9th house with Venus and Jupiter kissing the conjunct in your 11th house. So you're getting an opportunity there, Libra, to really include your friends in expansion and mercantile and doing some kind of business. Okay, Venus does rule Libra. So, okay, yes. So your friends are very important for you right now, and you're getting an opportunity to, really maybe travel long distance or do a long trip, road trip, learning other cultures, cooking up things, especially because it's also 11th house, which Aquarius usually rules 11th house, which is we say in Spanish, el más allá, up and beyond, out in the cosmos, esoteric, metaphysical world, astral traveling. So you're getting an opportunity to share this with your friends, and maybe even take classes, with the friends. Yes? Ragnar says he wants to go with you. So, okay, and to share all this learning and really, really expand that mind, okay? Because usually Sagittarius rules that 9th house. And so, which is nice. And I mention that because Jupiter rules Sagittarius, which is hanging out in the 11th house. So involving your friends is very important right now in these opportunities. Don't just be a follower, be a leader now, all right? And guide them through, because I'm pretty sure you have a lot to offer and a lot of knowledge to help them with. All right, moving right along, you got Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio. This is happening, let me just right here, in your 8th house and in your 10th house. So Scorpio, you're getting opportunities to open a loan, close a loan, pay off bills, you know, anything that's joint payments, all right? And you are feeling relief, but also overwhelmed because there's other situations. Because of you paying off, you feel better about yourself. How you look upon yourself is, you feel relieved, okay? Though you've incurred other ones, but maybe these bills better represent who you are, okay? As opposed to, you know, you're just paying a little bill from, you know, something like Fingerhut. Not that Fingerhut's bad, but it's just a lower paying bill, you know, as opposed to a mortgage. All right, so it better represents who you are, and you feel like, you know, you're moving up on the scale of life and feeling more proud of yourself. It's also an opportunity to transform, because the 8th house is not just about joint loans. It's also about transformation and your sexual intimacy with yourself and with others, okay? How your sexual commune is working. What is it that you search for? Are you just having release? Are you actually using that energy to manifest, to bring up and give you more energy? Remember, learn some tantra, okay? A lot of people feel depleted, or they just need to release them because when there's so much more opportunities. You know, they say that women have many more different types of orgasms than men, but men have more also if they learn about it, if they hold it, they don't release it right away. If they breathe through it, okay? It's amazing and it's beautiful. So, and women too, this is an opportunity to really, you know, the Scorpio rules usually the 8th house. So this is an opportunity to see yourself, start something new within yourself, and also it'll affect how you are seen as an authority figure, how you are seen and you work with others. And you like that because it's just the idea of commanding or dominating someone else, right? But you first have to dominate yourself and discipline yourself. If you have no discipline on yourself, back up, you cannot discipline anybody else or guide them. Okay? If you're constantly forgetting, you cannot give that advice. I should know. All right? So, you know, I have to walk my talk. And at times, you know, I'm honest when I say, you know, I'm going to give it a break. So remember all that. Ooh, Ragnar, we don't want to open. Did you? No, we didn't. Okay, you just ripped that off instead. Let's keep that away from you. Okay, so now let's move right along. Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius. This is happening in your... yes, Sagittarius. This is happening in your 6th house and also in your 9th house, okay? And so, what we got going on here? No, that's 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, 12, 11, 10. Now it's in your 9th house, yes. Sorry. And 8, 7, 6. Okay, so, doing too many things at once, huh? Can you tell too much masculine essence? Multitasking is not my best things. So anyway, Sagittarius, this is happening in your 7th house of partnerships, and also in that doesn't make sense. In your 9th house, yes. Okay, of expansion. So you are really getting an opportunity to expand. All right, and you like that. You're taking another class. You are seeing how things are. You're really taking that Jupiter. Now it's, Jupiter is retrograde, so you're kind of like, oh, okay. So it might be a class that you've already taken in the past. You want to do again just to make sure and see how you can evolve from that. And you might be including some kind of partnership with it. All right. Because it's the new moon is in your 7th house, so it might be going into business or seeing how you can use this in your business world. All right, and seeing how you can use this throughout your partnerships also, you know, partnerships include marriage, and also like maybe, you know, they say open enemies, your adversaries. And that's very important because remember, a person is only an adversary when their personal agenda is no longer parallel to our personal agenda. And we get, you know, a little bit, you know, we say, oh, they betrayed us. I can't trust you. You disillusion me. When really we assume that we were so, being egotistical, that our personal agenda was so much more valuable than their own. Okay, even if they didn't communicate, sometimes people don't communicate certain issues, or they tell white lies because they feel that we're not open-minded, or we're very critical, and they don't want to hear it, because they got their reasons and they cannot explain it to us. So, you don't want people lying to you? No criticizing, but you guys are not exactly the criticizers and people in the zodiac, so we don't have to worry about that too much. Okay, so moving right along, Capricorn, it's in your new moon is in your 6th house with opportunities to transform. So this health, you're looking at opportunities to look into your health, to be active, be more involved outside, be grounded, take off your shoes and socks, for goodness sakes, and I mean your socks too. Really feel the grass. Remember that scene in Pretty Woman with Richard Gere? Julia Roberts, she's playing, the call girl, and it tells him to take off his socks, and he's just feeling the grass. Who knows when was the last time with his bare feet? Get grounded like a tree, okay? Feel it refresh. Let nature really, really breathe new life into you, okay? And at the same time, Capricorn, this is going to allow you opportunities to transform yourself. Very important. So transform yourself, and I say this because it's also an opportunity to learn tantra, because transformation is also in your 8th house, which is sexual intimacy, okay, sexual communion, the way you exchange energies. That's why joint finances is here too. So you have an opportunity to take on a loan or pay off a loan. Why do we have finances and joint, sex? Well, usually sex is considered, an interaction, okay? An intercourse. Remember, the word intercourse by itself does not mean sex. It is interchanging, right? But it is interchanging energies. When you have a joint loan, it is interchanging energies. It is saying that I am in agreement to this agenda, and so is sex. A lot of times, I say a lot of times because maybe one person wanted a quick and the other one was hoping for a nice, little, round the town thing for a couple of hours. And that's something you have to be very clear. What is your purpose of interacting sexually? And you're looking at me going, seriously, Sirena, you're asking me? It's to have a freaking orgasm. What kind of orgasm are you searching for? What is it that you can give to make it better? Are you a person who just takes, or are you also giving? Okay, and that's very important, because if you're giving, Capricorn, also sexually, you can even receive more, because you like to provide. All right, but when it comes to sex, you guys got some pretty cool little fetishes about there. I've been known to, or I shouldn't, I've been known. I've been told and, orientated on it. So, but it's time to really exchange that energy, get healthy. And yeah, sex can make you healthy too in your everyday life. Be more active, and if you're having trouble, with certain things sexually, it's a good time to find out, eat healthy, stay positive, get the drama out of your life. Drama does not mean you're loved. It means you're dealing with lower mental people, lower level people, okay? So, people who are very active in their life, who are more evolved, don't have time for drama and won't put up with drama. Remember that. Okay, Aquarius, moving right along. Aquarius, this is happening in your 5th house, okay, of romance, children, okay. Oh, Sagittarius, also 6th house deals with pets, so just so you know. Aquarius, this is also happening in your 5th house, and it does include pets, your bigger pets, okay, and also in your partnership. So it looks like, maybe you have a new partner, a new child involved in your life, Aquarius, or a new pet. Talking about that, it's my son being an Aquarius, Pisces. he just got what you have here, a new child, you know, and the fifth house being a child, because look at it's a baby, and it works, and it's also a partnership there, you know, because they have to rely on one another. So that this is a very good example. I'm not just talking about them just to talk, but to give you an example and apply it in your life. Perhaps there's an opportunity for entertainment and do more stuff and have more romance and love in your life, and media and music, and your partnerships are going to expand too, because Venus and Jupiter is in there, just expanding all that love. And so and being in Leo there, so you know you're going to have some more leadership and opportunities to lead. All right. Oh, look at you. Oh, look at you, huh? And Pisces moving right along. We got here, let's see here. Pisces, this is in your fourth house and in your sixth house. And in your fourth house, you know, you really, it's your home, your hearth inside. Also relations with your mother. You know, things are opening up. It's an opportunity to reestablish or reinvent how your connections were with your mother, or with your mother, how you deal with your home, your abode. Is it expanding in any way? You know, especially with the sixth house, which also deals with pets too, okay? And so are you enlarging your home with pets there, okay? Are you getting more into your health and being more active, bringing nature in? Ooh, look at you, all right? And seeing. So, I mean, just a test, if you think about it, see what's going on in the next week, you know, with different people in your life, and then using what I have told you, see if you can tell if their sons, what their sun sign or ascendant or a combination of signs are. You know, and I say this because, you know, this is a very good example, Ragnar, here, because my son is born as an Aquarius, yet he's a Pisces rising with a moon, Cancer moon, and I'm a cusp baby of Cancer Leo with a Cancer rising. Exactly, check this out, exactly conjunct his moon, and that will go on to talking another day, you guys, about how people's astrology charts and signs go. Oh, look at the cat's following my finger. Go and as part of the DNA. So, you know, and see if you can figure out and start testing yourself what signs they possibly are, all right? So, well, thank you. And this finishes this portion of the show here, the Sabian symbol and the forecast, and how the new moon is affecting the collective consciousness, and how Sappho, you know, and Pallas is very important with this, with Eros. Okay, so remember, there's a lot of love going on, a lot of, oh my goodness, you know, but remember, it's not long lasting, because it deals a lot with the asteroids. We want something a little bit longer lasting, more secure, especially since it's in Gemini. And, you know, we might be going into it for ego reasons, because of the Venus, Jupiter, and Leo, and for our own gratification, okay, for our own lack of self-worth, as opposed to finding our self-worth outside. All right, so, you know, just a little reminder there. Anyway, this is Sirena Nereida. I'm always thankful, my goodness, you know, of your donations and all those people who cooperate and really appreciate my time and effort that I share with you guys, that I take away from my son, from my clients, you know, and from my family as a single mommy, and my own studies and development to share with you. And it is always that exchange of energies. You know, people have done donations from PayPal. Thank you. Send me plants. Thank you. I love plants and herbs. Oh, I got my little garden up there. And, you know, little things that they can. And it's very appreciative. And I'm always thankful, you know. Someone gave me a whole basket of nuts, because I love nuts. They saw me eating, yes, and fruit, you know. So thank you, all right? And thank you for having me in your life. It is a privilege, always. Namaste and chasita.